Kathy with Kip's Corner. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is the third video in the series of celebrating our differences. And what I'm doing is creating 4 journals that are very different from each other, but start with some of the same basic colors and tones, but then take their own detours from there. And so the first one, the butterfly, it's not done, but I've got the pages in pretty good order on the inside. Next is the grungy one. Next only because it's just the next closest to me in arm's reach. I think this was, I don't remember what order I did them in. That was the third one I did. Next is the botanical journal, and I just have the cover done there, and the 4th cover is underway. The 4th one is going to be a soft cover journal, and I will probably do most of that off camera because there's some some hand stitching on that that I don't want to do on camera. So and I may not get the 4th one done. There may only be 3. But next up, for those of you who've watched me for a while, you know that I don't always, but I do like to try to create mixed media tags to go with the journal, sort of a companion piece to the journal. And so that's what I've done today, is created 4 different mixed media tags using some different textures. But my goal was to sort of match each one of them up to the journal that they'll go with. And so there's 4 of them, and so it's like I don't even know how many hours of video footage I have. Sometimes I turned the camera on, sometimes I forgot. And so what I'm going to do is edit all of that together in just fast forward, just so that you can kind of see the steps that I went through and some of the products that I used. But real quick, I'll show them to you. This is the one for the butterfly journal. I tried to get some blues in there. I started the background with just regular paper texture paste from Finnabar. There's some splatters on there. The blue that you see here that's dripping through, there's some here, comes all the way down. That is the denim jeans from Tim Holtz' new watercolor pencils. And so that was a lot of fun to play with. And so that is that one. Next up is the grungy one. And this, I've got embossing powder back here, and I literally dripped it all over. And so that's some of that texture you see. I dripped some in here as well. Scrunched it all up. This one used crackle paste and sand texture paste in the background, and that's what I started with. And so that is the grungy one. Next up is the botanical. This has 2 metal pieces on it. These were both originally silver. I put black gesso on them, and then vintage gold wax. The background on this one is just crackle paste, so you can see that. Oh, pretty there. You can see that pretty crackle. Pretty crackle. And then I put a layer of the frosted crystal embossing powder from Tim Holtz on the very top, to sort of even up the sheen on the background. And so I really, fun texture. That was a lot of fun to play with. And then the last one is Wild Child. This is these metal flowers here have metallique on them, Firebird and Burgundy, and then there's a little bling in the center, and then the edges, there we go. This is embossing powder with Seth Apter's Ancient Amber on the outside. It's really pretty. And then just lots of color there, and that's part of Wild Child. On all of them, I just painted the backs black. They're not clean, they have some goobers on them, but yeah, they're all just black. And so there we go. So next up, what I'm going to do, I worked on these sort of simultaneously, like something was drying on one, Then I picked up another one, worked on it for a little bit until something was drying on that, et cetera, et cetera. And so I will, I'm going to try to group these by the tag I was working on and just put some little snippets together for you, like again, just so that you can kind of see some of the steps that I went through and some of the different products that I used. I didn't record all of it, but yeah, that's what's coming up. Enjoyed that and seeing some of the steps that I went through and the products that I used. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I will be back soon for more on this series. From here, I'm going to be going to the insides of the journals. The fourth cover still isn't done yet, but I'll work on that just sort of periodically a little bit throughout. And yeah, I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Bye.